Good evening. People's Proletarian Petroleum Prefecture. Number 100. Final installment. Final visit to the People's Proletarian Petroleum Prefecture. Cheers. What are we up to? What are we going to do this final visit? So yeah, I don't really have much planned. We have these new residential buildings. They're waiting for prefab panels. We need to flip a few ships around. I think they should be have most services. If we take a look at the shopping center, all the buildings can walk to the shopping center. That's great. And apparently also to the school. Not really, but that's why we have a second school planned in up here. That will be coming along here shortly. Yep, but we need prefab panels to do this. What are you doing? If you have food, where's the ship? The ship has sailed. Supposedly. Okay, great. It's beyond the borders. No, don't do that. Delete, stop. Gdansk cargo harbor, is that this one? Yeah, yes it is. Very good. There you wait until unloaded and then they'll get their prefab panels. Helicopter. Oh, there's a fire! There are many fires. Yes, many fires. Now it is when in late game, it's constant fires. That's why you don't play on frequent fires, because that would just be silly at this point. Yep, we'll get a few more residential buildings. How are we doing with the prisons up here, warden-wise and so on? Decent enough, I think. 56 out of 70. We could stand a few more, but one prisoner escaped last year. Okay. And are prisoners ending up working in the mine? Yeah, a few. Very good. Overall, though, we could stand a few more workers here in the mine. Maybe too many of them might be preoccupied with working at the prisons and so on. Yeah, that's why we're building these. We see. Yes, it is. Right then. The kindergarten is staffed and ready. For no reason whatsoever right now, but that'll be fine. Really would like a few more workers in the mine. We could add more prison buses to this. If we'll take out the overlays and see how this productivity at the iron refiners. No, it's not being kept in iron as much as they should be. Oh, we need more miners. Not that it's any crisis, but still. Oh, there. Prefab panels are arriving. Very good. We can, I think we can slow this down a bit to regular speed. We're in no rush. Okay. So this is the town of Iron or Järn. Järn. Yeah. And the People's Proletarian Petroleum proper over here. Polluted. And terrible in many ways, but also also a nice town in many ways. The 100% almost at the oil refinery, that's good enough. Very good. Very, very good. Do we have, I mean, these prisons are, this one is not closed down, but this one is actually closed down. So we could demolish it and build something else here maybe. Like another technical like another university maybe, since this one is a bit full. Yeah, what the hell, why not? There are still some vehicles and mechanisms inside. Are there now? Yes, there are. Now then. There we go. Be gone. Lights are still blinking. Okay. Great. Yeah, will a university of any description fit in here, you think? I doubt it. University, medical university. Forget about it. Forget about it. Headquarters of the Communist Party, forget about that too. Yeah, I figured. I'm not going to mess with this. This is important stuff. Yeah, it's food related warehouse storage. No. 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 We might have something in the mods department. A small technical college. Small Ministry of Finance. Ministry of Culture. Stalinismus Medical University. Small. 75 students now. Katowice 1000 Art Music High School. 225 students. Oil company, that would be fitting, but that is very large. Ministry of Education. How many students do you take? 750? Or Palast de Republique. Ja. That's too large. Ministry of Finance or Culture. Culture is pretty small. 450 students, 600. This will have. Something along these lines. Yeah, and then we'll have plenty more capacity for educating our peoples. What are you doing here? You're making noise. Yeah, you're right. You're taking workers down to... Down to the coal place. I don't think that this is strictly necessary anymore. We have the plane, but as a backup, in case the plane messes up somehow, we need this to keep workers in the control tower so that they can land the plane. Otherwise, we end up in a catch-22 regarding the worker situation. But this is nice. We can follow this over the farms here. It's quite loud though. This helicopter. Oh. Yeah, cheers for the fields. They're being harvested already. It's 27th of July. Okay. Look at all them trucks coming in with grain crops. To load up on the ship and to get to the storage silo and to be turned into food, alcohol or clothing or maybe even chemicals. Do have quite a few fields. I like this. This is good. So here we have a little control tower that is being manned by these people. We also have another control tower over there, but yeah, I've gone through this many times. We need these helicopters. There they go. Great. What are you waiting for? The runway is engaged, but seem to be facing the wrong way. I don't know. I don't think that there's a reason to question if this is working or not, because it seems to be working, since we have workers here and everywhere else where it's applicable. Yeah, it's fine. Coal ships are being coaled up. Good. 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 So it's harvesting time. We can play songs of harvesting then. Okay, there isn't really anything more to build. We have that university here that will come up shortly, and we have the residential buildings. We have many ships going about all over the place. Steel mill, how are you doing? 137 workers, not that many, but it's okay. There's a lot of stuff here for the workers to do. These trains are filled that are coming in, which is good. We're still making nuclear fuel, apparently, for some reason. Yes. Putting it on a ship. Yes. There goes a tanker with $26 million worth of diesel. Yeah. Residential buildings. Are you coming along? You are coming along. Slowly but surely. Missing prefab panels. Did we not have enough on the boat? It's going to be a little bit of an ordeal here. have 127 tons remaining there, and we have 106 tons there, so we have about 200 and something tons. And these 34 tons, 46 tons, okay, this might not be enough then. Oh, okay. Where do we get prefab panels again? How do we do that? We have a prefab panels factory. I don't know if that's possible to connect to the ships though. It would be quite lovely if we could send the boat away now to go fetch prefab panels before we run out completely. That's what I'm thinking, but that's not going to happen then. But we can have a look, try and figure out how that's supposed to work, if it's supposed to work. But if we're going to have to buy prefab panels, I'm not going to buy prefab panels, so when we have factory. The factory is somewhere around here, it's there. Yeah, we have 1,053 tons. We have distribution offices doing stuff. Right, I don't know how this is supposed to work, you see. If we look at the factory connections. What's this for example? Don't know. This seems to be for bricks. Certainly do have a lot of them. Right. What about this, maybe? There's an open storage here. What we put them? We put them prefab panels there then, right? Yeah, sure we do. Where are you? What do you do? I don't know. I can't quite figure it out, I don't think. So we do this. We find ourselves a road vehicles depot, such as this one. We buy ourselves an open hull. Like this one, maybe. And you simply go from there, load prefab panels. And you put them... sure, this is not supposed to be for anything else. Not sure. But what are you doing here, for example? Food. We'll get prefab panels there, and that would be great. We go find the boat that does it. It's right about here. This one, yeah. You have the ship dock where you do nothing. You're going to go... Oops. That's not what you're going to do. You're going to go there to load. What? Yeah, load. Prefab panels, please. And down to this. You could almost come, but you have 71 tons still remaining on board, 69, 68. I'm going to let them load, empty you out, and then we send you off to load some more prefab panels. 5th of August. Summer is coming, drawing to an end. Yes, what can we say about the People's Proletarian Petroleum Prefecture this time around? It's been self-built. It's been workers and resources. Soviet Republic, with all its quirks and features and stuff relating there too. With the new stuff too, with the crime and justice, which was new, and we started out here and was quite unbalanced at the time. Lots of people walking around here. Lots of people were walking around here, in fact. That's good, I suppose. Yes, that is good, I suppose. I suppose that is good. Still have 9 tons remaining. Could you send a truck to go and fetch last bits? Don't feel like it. This one might be doing just that. Yes, we are. No, we're going back to the construction office. Do we have all the prefab panels that we need? I don't think so. Oh. Just checking on the walkability of this. So all the people who walk here either get on a cable car or wait around for an hour and then walk up to the mine or walk to somewhere else. Work. Oh, 70 people. Miners, what the hell? Who's there more? They have no prisoners on board. Why not? And where are you going now? Are you going to refuel? Yes, but there is a fuel station on the way to the prison, you see. Here. Yeah. And there you are out of prefab panels, then we send you off. Right. I think the point of installing this privacy invasion thing was so that we could have only loyal people working at prisons and so on. And for that to happen, you actually need to set it up too. Yeah, pretty decent loyalty here. Yeah, we do this. Minimum government loyalty of at least 60%. So that they come out nice and loyal to the state. Also for the children that we already have. There we go. Not sure if this is really progressing at the rate that I want. We don't have enough trucks. We still have a bit of prefab panels here, 90 tons of them. So that should be fine. They'll at least get a few of the buildings up, maybe. And here come you with 2,855 tons of bricks. Planks, 80 tons. Is that going to be enough? I hope so. I can't quite be bothered mucking about with that. Or maybe you can do planks too, if we put some at the harbor, which you were going to. Which was this one? You're getting filled up with prefab panels. They're quite readily. It was not this one. This is apparently the one that you were supposed to use for boards. Yes. And the one that we were supposed to use for prefab panels then is this one. Yes. If we then find the ship that is coming here, which could be this one. No, it's not that one. Could be this one. There's this one. You can't really load boards here, but you can load boards here. Boards. This will only take like 2 months or something. What are you doing now? Why are you stopping here? You have to reverse to make the turn? Or what? I see this. These are not finished. The boats are not finished. God damn it. What are you doing? No, okay, now you made the turn. Good. Well, now you made the turn straight into the to land. What's this ship doing? It's bringing various stuff. Okay then. We actually have 75, 73, 71 adults living with their parents. Only one building is finished. Fantastic. That's where they're going. So I need to keep an eye on this one a little bit so that it doesn't fill up 100% on prefab panels, but also fits a few boards. But it's still going to be a little while for it to sail. Yes, we can just sit back then. Okay, we sit back. We sit back. This is People's Petroleum Prefecture. Proletarian, Petroleum, Prefecture, Proletarian, Petroleum, Prefecture, tra-la-la-la. Yes, I'm making so much relevant commentary here this evening on the last installment and everything. Yes, so it is. I'm always making relevant commentary. Always. These 100 episodes are filled. Condensed commentary. Condensed relevant commentary all the time. Nothing but. Almost. Just a little bit of filler in every here and there, maybe. There you go, you're making a turn into towards the port. Great. How much? 75 tons of prefab panels, that's not a lot. But we only have one truck doing the job. Yes, so no wonder that is slow. And it takes 18 tons to go. This is a bit too chaotic here. We do normal speed if we want to do first person. By the way, are you waiting until loaded? No, you're not. You're not going to get very many prefab panels. It seems awfully slow to unload. What? Wait, are you... come back here. Come back. Or by the way... Yeah, why didn't you... Why didn't you get any prefab panels? It is hooked up. And this is this one, yes. Huh. Because it's a goddamn stupid ship in the stupid Soviet Republic and they don't work properly. Probably. That's why. Maybe. By the way, the total playtime of the Workers and Resources Soviet Republic here for me currently stands at 2,633.1 hours. Damn it, this is unhealthy. It's a good thing that I must now quit because there are more pressing matters. Well, stop! Wait! Why? What are you doing? You should load. What's your problem? You might have something silly here. Reset. I see. I see. Come back. It was my fault, obviously. But if 2,666 hours or whatever it was, to 2,633 hours, if that's not enough to get a handle on how the game is supposed to be operated, and maybe there is also something to be said about the game's interface. Maybe, just maybe. And it's just not only to be blamed on the operator here, on the Soviet administrator. Just saying. I shouldn't complain. That was a fantastic game, this. It really is. I do miss like an overview of how much of its total carrying capacity it currently has. I mean, I know that it has 529 tons of steel out of 3,500 tons, but what that's it. That would be if it only carried steel. But we're having it carrying a lot of stuff, lots of different stuff. so it doesn't quite work that way. Oh, and the grass is turning brown. Autumn is coming. Autumn is here. Winter is coming. That's how it works. However, when this hits the YouTubes here, when this drops, yes, when I drop this one, it will be like early summer, maybe, or late spring. Or something thereabouts. I've lost all track of everything here. Obviously. We have 132 tons of prefab now. That's probably quite enough to finish the various buildings out here. Let's see. More or less. How much you need? 1.6 tons there. 32. 11, 16. If I added these up, what's going on? Yeah, that ought to be enough. We can let this truck do its fine one more run, and then we'll send it off to get some boards, and then we can get it over here. This building is already filled up. 4 citizens were unable to get food. That doesn't sound good. You need to keep this place stocked. We might be pushing what is possible to do with one small shopping center here with the population now. Come to think of it. We can have another small shopping center. We could actually have another small shopping center up here. Something. Or we could have a restaurant. For variety's sake. Panorama restaurant. Why don't we? It has heat. Good. Air. Here we go. Now you go here, you go get some boards, and you don't wait there, no good. Then you'll come back. Right, yes, right. So it is. How is this, by the way? Oops. Crap. This number, how is this doing? Frame rate. It's time to stop building and developing. This world is what it is. And that's what is happening. Now we can see if we can't bring the flying machine out a bit and have a debugging mode. Thank you. There we go. Why are you not? Is it because I'm doing this? might have an effect. Yeah, it has an effect on the movement of the ships. If I try and use the flying machine. Okay, no flying machine for the time being then. Turn the debugging mode off. What do you do, by the way? You sell steel, okay. You sell steel. Good for you. And you are now loading up on the boards. That should be the last construction materials that we need. I'm really dull this evening. No, this beer is not helping. This beer isn't working. What's wrong with it? It tastes rather flat. Yeah. Or not very much at all. In fact, what is this? Lone Star Texas style lager. I don't know what this is supposed to be. I'm not buying this anymore, I don't think. Ah, that was rubbish. Rubbish, that's a bit harsh. Yeah, that's too harsh. It's not rubbish. Yeah. No. But okay, you have 500 tons now of the boards there, so you're good. You're good. Go. Good productivity at steel mill. Real good productivity at steel mill. A bit erratic. Could have something to do with the game lagging a bit behind. So when we look here, we have 20 frames per second. Not great. This place is a bit too developed and densely so. Now we can stare into the ground here and we get decent enough. Yeah, but almost 100% productivity, not too seldom. That's steel mill. Good. Now, this ship is going to need to dock here where this one is standing around with 2,776 tons of bricks. You could maybe stand here instead. I don't think that we're going to need quite that many bricks. Courthouse, by the way. Do we still have the courthouse here, or have I torn that down? List of buildings. All map. Courthouse. There is only one. Okay, good. How's life in Utopia? It is perfect. It is life in Utopia. How is life in Utopia? Is that even a question? 300 workers at the train station. Very good. I say we follow the train along. Goddamn fucking tinnitus. It's fucking killing me this evening. Goddamn it. Fucking jävla helvetes fan. I fucking hate it. Yes, sorry. Calm down. Yes, calm down. But it is not a nice experience to have tinnitus. No, it is terrible. And sometimes it can get quite on your nerves a little bit. Yes. Well, when it doesn't ever leave you alone. Yes. Stop complaining. Doesn't help. Yeah, well, it does actually help a little bit to complain about it. This is all working great. We have all the stuff that we need here. It's a bit messy, maybe. How it's set up and so on, but it is working. What do we have here? If we try and make sense of this, we have the steel mill. We have a mechanical components factory. We have a chemical plant. We have electrical assembly hall. Fabric factory. Taking chemicals comes out of here, goes into this warehouse, I suppose, and fabric also goes into the warehouse. Chemicals also go into this storage facility and goes into the plastics factory, and plastics goes into there. Plastics also goes out of the plastics factory into the electrical components factory. Electrical components end up in this storage facility, where it is then trucked over to the electronics assembly hall and put into into this warehouse. Yes, it is. Where they put mechanical components, which is used in the electronics assembly hall, and from there it is the finished electronics are distributed to the people. How many people have a television? Not too bad. 18,850 workers, and 16,500 have a radio, and 14,000 has a television. 10,000 people have a computer for some reason. That's how that works. We also have the nuclear fuel fabrication. The uranium conversion plant. This makes so much sense to have when we don't have a nuclear reactor. We don't make enough money on it really to be bothering with it, but since we have it, I'm not going to stop now. How walkable is this? The school is walkable from everything. Very good. No construction office have path? What? Yes, you do. This road is finished. Yes, you do have path to this construction. I'm positively sure that you do have path to this construction. Are you stupid or something? Or have I selected the wrong construction offices? No, I have not. What happened to the music? The music machine. Fine, we never mind. We bring in the helicopters. Yeah. But maybe the distribution offices might not have path to it neither. Then it's Mac OS and its fucking rubbish implementation of the SMB protocol nowadays that keeps messing up the music machine. Why is it so rubbish when it used to be decent? It has never been good, but it used to be decent. It goes again apparently for a little while. For a very little while indeed. Not enough to make anyone really happy here. Try again. No. force restart of Finder. Yeah, reconnect to the server, reconnect to the correct share. There we go. Now you should be... Oh, there you go. Thank you very much. Now this panorama restaurant, it's not quite reachable from all the buildings. We could maybe make them a shortcut or something. They have to walk on the gravel road and they don't like that very much. Something like that then. Yes. Have the prefab panels arrived? Yeah, really now? Not yet. Here they are. Still a week or two away. Something's on fire. No. That's the concrete coming for the restaurant. Yes. This now they do have a path to this. Whatever. It will work itself out now. Which is good. Some of the goods are missing. Meat is apparently missing. A meat truck must be somewhere then. Because we have meat here, right? Yeah, we do. And the meat truck is out. Or what? Or how do we do this? I don't know, but they usually have meat. This is a temporary setback. This is not a freezing... no. All related vehicles here. This one. You're supposed to take care of it. Very good. For how long have I been going? Almost an hour? Really? 56 minutes or so, 55 minutes or so. Yeah. It's going to continue until it stops. No, 20 minutes this time. Now this needs to be finished. We need to see how it pans out and so on. Maybe we'll fast forward a bit through winter. One prison bus is overtaking another prison bus. Plenty of prisoners in the mine. Good. That's what we like to see. Even have a bit of iron on the pile, which is also what we like to see. If we take a look at the productivity in the iron ore processors, 0%, no workers. No workers? That's unacceptable. Why would that be? Because they're occupied with building these, maybe. Something. Yeah, could be. Still no prefab panels coming. No. But the ship has just docked, I think. Yeah. It has just docked. It's unloading prefab panels as we speak. Very good. Here comes the first truck that is going to load prefab panels. Good. See if we do this now then and turn on the debugging mode again. And then do this and see what we get. Yeah, how it works. It probably has effects on many things. You're not supposed to use this function, but I like it a lot. You can have a real close look at things. That's a heavy load that you're pulling. You know what, I'll switch out this Lone Star for one of these red cans that used to have white text on them but now has black text instead. Here. Here's a Volvo 240 being operated by the secret police. Very nice. Although it does sound like the diesel model, which is awful because that doesn't have a Volvo engine. It has a Volkswagen engine. It's not quite a Volvo then, is it? But we only have diesel here, so what's to do? What to do? Oh, these are supposed to be petrol engines. B230 engines. Yes. It is the OM 617 of the petrol world. I'll go as far as to say. What the hell are you talking about now? If you don't, never mind. Combustion engines. Yes. There we have the prefab panels are arriving. They're also constructing maybe something. And this building looks more or less finished to me. Can't be a whole lot more to do on it. Oh. Restaurant though, that's still a ways off. This stupid bridge system. What are we supposed to do? We needed to get up the mountain, and it works. We should pave these bits here, but it will cut off everything if we try and do that. So we'll have to stick to the driving directly on the ground as it stands. Yep. They do use the correct petrol station every now and then. That's a good thing. The prison mountain, they do have, they can't complain about the view that they get up here. And the fresh air and everything. I'm a bit spoiled maybe. Yes, might be a bit spoiled, but it is what it is. This is all looking rather reasonable. We have plenty of capacity. Could stand a few more workers maybe, but I don't know what to do about it. These, there's the workers on board going back down. Do you not have enough, you might not have enough government loyalty maybe to work in, you know, no, 16%, but then you shouldn't be allowed on the thing in the first place. That I don't think that we can control. Oh. So we transport a whole lot of workers up here that don't have enough government loyalty to work at the prison or the orphanages. Orphanage. Oh. It's the way it is. It is how it is. When we have this low occupancy, it's okay. We don't need more wardens than this. The prison security is pretty high. Yes. No one's living here. Oh. This one, the small distribution office number 2, you do not have space for another. Why do you have dumpers? Probably do something important with the dumpers, but we need a refrigeration truck for you. Refrigeration. This is 2012. This is still the last year here. We'll have one of those. And you also then go to the freezer to load things. Yeah. Then I'm going to go to the restaurant eventually when that gets finished. Would you mind bringing a few more workers maybe? There you go. There you go. They used up all the steel instead. Yes. But you still need 237 tons of prefab panels to do this. Okay. That's more than we have on the ship. Yes, but the helicopters have access to way more. How much prefab panels we have here now? 151 tons. Might as well send you off. Not that it's going to matter because the helicopters will have brought all the prefab panels before the ship has gone back and forth. Yeah, whatever. "18th of October, you say? It's still a month or so until the snow will fall. Three workers in here. That's really not what we want. We want a lot more. 4 workers can't work because there is no kindergarten. Okay. How many people around here can't work due to no kindergarten? Is that a big problem? Worker was taking care of their baby. There's actually quite a few. Nah, we can't have children, parents taking care of their own children. The state is supposed to do the upbringing for the children. Okay. Need flat terrain. Yeah. Get your flat terrain. I really do like that I have the old sound effects back, and thank the modder so very much for doing the work. What was it? Residential? No, state infrastructure, kindergarten. There we go. We need to remove a little bit of footpath here. Get a road through. Slightly overstaffed school. Slightly overstaffed kindergarten. 2 babies at the kindergarten and 10 staff. I can't be bothered tweaking about with those settings. Eventually we'll get enough people moving in here that this won't be a problem. We'll speed it up a bit. A building is on fire. What is it now? A wood cutting post. Citizens may be in peril. Medical services need to be prepared for serious injuries. Fire extinguished. Great. Are you having electricity problems out here? The lights were flickering ever so slightly. Where do you get your electricity from? You get your electricity from here. Your voltage is not completely stable. No wonder, look at this mess. To fix that, we'd have to see high voltage comes in underground to this switch. We have plenty of capacity on the high voltage side, but then we'd need another transformer somewhere in here. Power transformer. Really, are we going to mess with this? Don't know. Maybe 10 megawatt wire is say here. Some other infrastructure is in the way. It's not going to be completely easy to get this building in the way. Some other infrastructure is in the way. Okay, that will do. Then I'll be happy. But to make use of this transformer, we need to cut power and do all sorts of stuff that they won't like. Yeah, not completely sure about what to do here. See, we have wires crisscrossing all over the place, and I'm not sure I want to get involved with messing with them too much. Where does this go? I have no idea. Actually, never mind. Never mind. It will be fine. Say, maybe. So we could plunk down a substation like here. And then bring the heaviest gauge of wire we can, if we can get it out town. Building in the way, other infrastructure is in the way. Yes. This is such a mess. Are you finished here yet? No. Not quite, because it requires a very large amount of prefab panels, this. But that is what it is. How long have we been going on for now? Long enough. Yes, but we're not finished. We're not finished. I'm not going to do a summary of what's been happening. I did that just a couple of episodes back, 98, I believe. Also a quick summary of things. Also, you can watch the whole thing from beginning to end here if you want a summary. That's not really a summary though. That's more like the whole thing. If I do another playthrough of this then when I start, it ought to be possible to have the cosmonaut mode or self-build mode or whatever they are going to call it enabled. I mean, I've done that now, but not enforced by the game, but just enforced by myself and my decisions. But water and sewage is also coming. Or it's out by the time that this is out, obviously, but it's not out quite yet as at time of recording. Seems like a whole lot of bother for what, really? It will not be possible to retrofit that onto an existing republic. I don't think, because people will probably be quite upset if they don't have any drinking water for a while. It's not like when the winter was introduced and you had like the summer to build up the infrastructure that you needed. No. We go. You unload at the restaurant and you keep them at 60% or something. This might be a bit more staff than we need. You're telling me that for 22 staff we can have 19 guests. The shopping center is a bit more economical. You now have meat. And you have food. I have one person eating. With a productivity of 123%, how do you do it? Not complaining. Get the kindergarten built, please, and put this back into that it's needed for anything, but sort of makes sense. For all these. Oh, this is a secret police. The roads may leave a little bit to be desired here. Some in places. Yeah. There you go. Very good. Well, this seems to be keeping up though with the crimes that comes its way. And the prisons have plenty of capacity. Yes. How is the crime doing all over this year? Police did not come to crime scene 1%. Oh, but that's probably down in the coal mining district. Snow is falling. 23rd of November. Same day as every year. I would think is down here mostly that the police do not come because we don't have a police station here. We're not going to have one either. Non-patrolled Primes, yeah, 4 in the mine. Did you steal coal? Or what the hell? Is this the same plane that has been standing around here since forever? Just wait around a little bit and see if this plane moves. Or if it is glitched out or something. This doesn't look quite right to me. Something's up with this one. Now the runway is not engaged and you're still waiting around. Okay, fine. We put you at a parking space. Then, like there. Can figure that out. Which you can't. Okay, I suppose we sell you then. Oh, there's actually a plane landing. Now you can go. Please go. Oh, you just refuse. Okay, goodbye. Yeah, how are you doing here with the new residential buildings? Not a whole lot of people has moved in quite yet, but they're getting to it. 7 citizens were unable to get food. That's a bit alarming. They can walk to the shop. It was a stupid idea to build this restaurant instead of a shop. Because it takes a whole lot of workers and they can't serve very many people. What do we do about that then? I suppose we build another shopping center. You see, it never ends. Is that where you want that, really? I would prefer maybe to have it here. Going to be difficult. Yes, going to be grocery store, small shopping center. We can get this in here. It's great, but we also need a road connection, which actually is going to cooperate, just like so. Okay, that's fantastic. "30 workers without job. 30 workers without job? Okay, but now these places are filled again. Good. And we don't have any iron ore on the pile, and we have 240 workers in the mine. No prisoners, though. It's unfortunate. Get unloaded. Prisoners. Just driving them up and down the mountain. Stands. Ah. It will have to do. If we can have a look on how the pollution is doing. Have you gotten electricity? Yes, you have. Good. It's really bad around here, but it's lifespan of 62 here. Okay. I have a lot of guests waiting for service. Not good. This is not good. We'll close it down or something maybe when this is finished. Okay then. This is the furthest oil derrick we have. This is the furthest away. And we have quite a bit. See if we can get an overlay with resources oil. What the hell just happened now? This is not... Okay, it came back. Yeah, we have that. You see, it's plenty of oil is being pumped all over the place. It goes via a great network of pipes. Yeah, I've been over this too many times. The point is that it ends up here. Something is screwing a bit with me now here. It says that there is no signal on the view screen. This is no good. Can't quite operate under these circumstances. Quite difficult. We do this and then we change it back maybe. I hope that it reconsiders not supported and pitch black, and there it is supported again apparently. Yes, I know what you experienced in the meantime though. Hopefully nothing too. But the 250 workers, this doesn't sound like a whole lot in the oil refinery. 380 does sound like quite a bit though. It's good enough. Everything is good enough. Even more so. 84% productivity. It will have to do. Oh, we'll keep it high speed in winter time. It's a bit this. I like the winter, but it's all the white. It gets so blown out. I think that they could maybe tweak the lighting a bit in the winter time to make it look a bit better, perhaps. Could we have a third plane on this, or two is enough? We already have 3 planes, even though I threw one away. 4 was definitely one too many. That's good. That's good. 270 passengers standing around here waiting to get on an airplane to go mine for coal. This makes all the sense in the world. Yes, it does actually, because I can't be bothered to build a town down there. That's why we're doing it this way. Okay, have I won the game yet? I think so. This could be considered working. Anything else in particular on your mind? No, but I'm not ready to call it quits just yet, though neither. Not that a whole lot of people is going to make it this far into such an incoherent and sparsely yes, not very content rich content here. Quite sparse indeed. Yes. Pum 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 pum. Maybe should increase staffing a bit at this hospital. Yeah, why not? Like lots of guests waiting for service here. This is no good. Ten people could not visit a pub or tavern. You can't walk to the pub. Yes, you can. You lazy bastards. I think they might not have time. That might be the problem. But when this is complete, they will have time. Perhaps. A heating problem. Fire extinguished. Heating problem. Okay. Why would this... It was temporary. All right then. I have been saying this all right then now for a time. 1 hour 35 minutes or so we're up to. It's not going to get more informative than this. No. It's the final touches to the PPP. People's polluted Proletarian Petroleum. Citizens' loyalty seems low. What's this about? Oh, is this not? Yeah, this is not within the sphere of influence of this one. Oh, of course, yes, it is. We could put up a monument if you like. Residential areas is not. It's trees and accessories. Soviet emblem, Red Star monument, seems to be the most powerful one. Okay. Should we take a ride on a cable car, maybe? Yes, we take a ride on a cable car. Have a look around here. Yeah, remember this cableway was incredibly convenient to put in. It was too steep inclines, and it was too sharp of an angle, and it was many things. It was, but here it is, working in working order. Yes, it is. And eventually we arrive here at the top on Prison Mountain and Orphanage Mountain. It is a bit important that you get off enough workers here so that the orphans can use this to transport themselves down to school. Oh, they seem fine. They even have degrees, most of them. So it's most likely working. Speaking of degrees, how is the university coming along? Now this has glitched out, so I can't click on the minimap. Okay, I have to do it the old-fashioned way. Here it is. Still quite a few students waiting for professors. Oh, there are no students waiting for professors. It's all good. That's what it is. Very good. Didn't I just played this song? I think. Yes. I mean the soundtrack just only contains so many tunes. Ta-dum, dum, ta-dum, dum. Fast forward until springtime, please. Now, that's what we're going to do here. Dum da da dum 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 dum. Dum ba da bum bum bum. I have nothing more to add. I'm just waiting around. I'm just hanging around here, really looking at the thing. Rail construction yard, rail construction office, tying up workers for absolutely no reason whatsoever. Could we build some more railroad? To where? No. No, this is feature complete. It is ship-based. This, not train-based as the previous playthrough was. There we had plenty of trains. Here we only have a few. We have the passenger line, and we have the train distribution office taking care of excess steel export, bringing it down to the harbor and putting it on a boat and sailing it off. Could take it on the train directly to the customs house now, since we actually have a rail connection to the customs house. But We wouldn't get to use the annoying little boats. This is the meat industry. It seems to be working fine. I'm not... How is this again? Yes, we have livestock farms and then a place where they wait around, and then we take a truck and have them waiting here at the slaughterhouse, and then we put it into cold storage in Vanilla warehouse. Yes. You can't store or export meat. No, that's good. Yeah, we're going to watch the fields being sown, plowed, sown, and so on, and then maybe we'll say goodbye from the People's Proletarian Petroleum Prefecture for the last time. And yeah. We have something fun we could ride along or something here whilst we're waiting for spring. I mean, we don't have a great rail line, which is usually what I like to ride along. We do have the plane. No, not too bad. I like this setup, actually. I could fly coal miners in. We don't have any residential buildings down here. That we just have coal mining and coal ore refining. It was quite bothersome to set up without auto building or auto purchasing anything. But eventually we got there. Now it's working excellently. Working incredibly well, in fact. Yeah. The building is on fire. The railroad construction office is on fire. Oh no! The fire truck is coming. There we go. It was fine. It went fine. It's all good. Whilst we're around here, we could plant a few trees. This again, one of the only there are two renewable resources in the game: crops and wood. But the wood, you have to plant the trees manually. I think I have another wood cutting post around here somewhere. Yeah. There we go. Pine trees all around. For you. That's right. There was also, when I loaded up this, a mod has been removed apparently from the workshop, and the building was deleted. I have no idea what building it was. It didn't quite inform me what building it was. It just said that one building was deleted. So far, it doesn't seem to have had a catastrophic effect on anything. It seems to be working as usual. But it must have done something. Must have been something. Right. It could actually be down in the inherited little settlement that we never. This one that we got with the map. I can't click it. Can't have it. It's annoying. This bug. Now we travel down the river, and we go here. Could be something around here, maybe. Stuff has burnt down here over the years. Most has burnt down, actually. Yeah, I don't care. No one lives here, right? No one lives here. Building is without power supply. Citizens are not allowed to move in. We also have this little village here, which has not touched. How are they doing, I think? The indigenous population in Fiengini here. No one lives here. 6 workers. Residents are heating themselves, causing pollution. And they're burning old tires as usual. Church, no one. It's not maybe a thriving village, but some people live there, which is good. I still can't click on the minimap now. To do it this way then. 8 workers. Now this is finished. Good. Then we take the distribution office here. That is doing this. We add a connection. We add this one. And we also... What happens if I do that? Will people still gather around outside? Or will they give up? I close down the restaurant. And then we buy ourselves a refrigeration vehicle. Refrigeration, please. Scania. Old Gatta Scania. 38 tons of meat. 11 tons of meat, that will do. Go there, load, and then you go there, wait until loaded. There you go. Yeah, they gave up, people. No one's waiting around now that we don't have any staff. Very good. We don't have to tear it down. No babies at the kindergarten. Why not? But no one is without job due to them taking care of their own children. Oh, that's good. That's good. That's good. 48 years of average lifespan. That's no good. That's not good. Oh, could probably stand even more orphanages here. Yes, could. I think that we might need to lower this a bit. So since we can't filter out people who get on the cable car, but they get filtered out when they get up here instead, and that's not quite working out. So we'll lower the requirements just a little bit. Build a third orphanage up here. I mean, how many orphanages do I have? It's a silly amount. Orphanage, all map. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yeah, we could stand another one because these are full. State infrastructure, children, orphanage. Can't build due to infrastructure. What infrastructure would that be? I have capacity in this, right? More or less, yes. We can throw up yet another one. If we have how's the electricity up here? Okay-ish. Yeah, fine. We'll have yet another orphanage. Somewhere, maybe. $111 tons of bricks it takes to make one orphanage, and we have 467. We don't need to bring out the ship. Oh, fine. Seems a bit crowded here. Huh. Yes, it does. I would like to see 100% productivity please at these places. But no, apparently not. Some of the goods in this shop is missing. Food is missing. I bet that this truck is bringing food. Yes, it is. Oh, crap, I have not... This must be corrected here. We shouldn't have that much clothing and electronics in stock. Just a little bit. And focus on the food. It's got busy now. With people walking. Nice too. Real busy. Well, we're actually not keeping up with the patients at the hospital. We need to increase staffing even more. Yeah, no problem. We're not quite keeping up with the demand here neither, but that's enough. They don't need to be very much educated around here. To work at the courthouse maybe. This looks like quite a long list. Are we getting into a crime spiral? Maybe. I don't know, I mean, it's fully staffed, right? It isn't fully staffed. Now it is fully staffed. Okay. Could have something to do with it. Yeah, because if you get too much of a backlog here, you're never going to get out of it. Which we might be in. You got your sentence, 13.8 years. What did you do? Alexasha. Hoard Electronics. Yeah, but that's not quite that serious of a... Yes, they're catching up, right? Yes, they are catching up now. Well, if you wanted to see the fields being sown, I think that now is the time. They ought to start. Yeah, they have started. Yeah. This is probably my favorite bit of this. Is the farms. The farming area. We grab onto a tractor here and see it is lagging away for some reason, but okay. Pum 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 I don't know what this is about. That is so choppy here when plowing. That is what it is. Yeah. It's all good. 19 degrees. No cloud coverage whatsoever. 2 meters of wind. 3, 4 meters, 5 meters of wind. It's a nice day. It's a nice day. Isn't it? Yes, it is a nice day. Da, 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 da. And this is almost full. Great. Global market report on oil. The price of is going down. Okay. That always seems to happen. We have $18.4 billion. I think we'll be alright. And we don't really have any expenses. If we look at the economy and trade, maybe for a given year, like last year, did we buy anything whatsoever? Yeah, we did buy something. Cement. Right, we don't make our own cement. The cement is last year was the only thing that we actually imported. Okay. And some vehicles. Oh. Great. Exports. Bitumen, fuel, oil, steel, iron, coal. Coal? Okay. We leave it at high speed until the ore finishes here up on the hill are finished. It shouldn't be long at this rate. This distribution office, not quite sure that it can handle all that we're asking it to do, but we can buy more vehicles for it. Two, or another refrigeration truck. You'll have a. There you go. Have you driven yourself up here? Okay, that must have taken a while. Yes, and you did one dig with the shovel and then you realized that I'm out of fuel. Or they have finished the groundworks. Yeah, they finished the groundworks by hand whilst waiting for you. I apparently have not ticked the box to only deliver mechanisms by vehicle for that construction office. That's how it is. I'm not going to tick it now at this time. Yeah, it's working. We have a student or two waiting here every now and then, and they get on the cable car and then they go down to town and go to school or university, and it all works out very nicely. I hope the heating plant can cope with 2 more orphanages here too. Wouldn't want to build another one of those, and that one is too far away. I think I've already tried that. Let's get the tape measure out and just see. Yeah, it's 1.5 kilometers, you see, and 1 kilometer is the maximum length, and I can't be bothered doing a pumping station for heat because you lose too much. Oh, you will have to suffice with this one. You need 3.1 tons of boards to finish the entire construction, and you have 3.6 tons on the construction site. Yeah, this is going on, this one. 2 hours and so plus. Yes. And it's not really energetic or anything, and it's not funny, and it's nothing. It's just an end. A drawn out goodbye. Yeah, it's not done extremely well, this series, but 10, 15 views per episode maybe, and I think that there are a few people that have stuck around for most of it, or for much of it anyway, and it's I thank you so very much for that, for sticking around. It's a bit disheartening if you go to YouTube and you go incognito, or you open up a private tab window in your browser and you search for Workers and Resources Soviet Republic. See how long you have to scroll before you find one of my videos. Quite a ways. Quite a ways. It's not like I'm focusing on this game or anything, is it? No, but my videos are rubbish, maybe. Maybe. Not all the time. They're not completely rubbish. This one has not been very good. The series has had its moments, I think. This trying to be stringent on keeping it to 20 minutes, and I'm failed all the time, but at least only a few episodes have gone like way beyond 20 minutes. Most have been between 20 and 30. Doesn't done a whole lot for the view count, but done something. Subscribers is what is it as of current reading, as of right now? 237. Yes, I'm a quarter of the way to 1,000 after 2.5 years. Yes, any day now. And most people only want to watch my train crashing video. It seems that's extremely popular. But that's intentionally crashing the train. I have another one that was not an intentional crash. I tried my very best to do a very ambitious job and accidentally crashed the train. That's, in my opinion, a bit more entertaining than when you intentionally ruin it. How many views does this actually have now? 22,002 views and a total 1.1 thousand view hours. That's fantastic. Derail Valley. Crashing, exploding and derailing trains. And the twin reactor nuclear plant in 2 minutes. That's also quite popular. 12,240. 246 hours. How has the last of the PPP video? But this is too much inside baseball now, I think. There is 12 views and an aggregate view time of 0.8 hours. Yes, and the video is 28 minutes long, so that means that maybe 2 people have watched it. Yes, lovely. Yes, I should stop this. I've been saying this for since forever. I should stop doing this because I'm not cut out for it, obviously. Or something. And I just might. This orphanage is already overflowing. I don't know what to tell you. I'll leave this off government loyalty here, so that maybe. Then the problem is that the children that grow up in this or that one will not have great government loyalty when they get out into life. They will have terrible government loyalty. Yes, but what does it matter? Because we're going to leave this place now. Soonish. Yeah, soonish. There is nothing more to be done. I just don't like ending and saying goodbye and so on. Especially when there hasn't really been. Yeah, I think number 98 was a good final bit, a good overview of the place and everything. Yeah, this is more like a sad farewell or something. What you call it? I don't know. And I feel a bit. My mind is not quite here this time around. Neither. No. It's elsewhere too. Yes. Such is it. I suppose I should make more Derail Valley crashing videos then. Yeah, but I've been holding off until they released the simulator version, the next iteration, which should have been released like a year ago. But they have delayed and postponed it time and time again. But I don't feel like playing it until they release it. Well, this is Prison and Orphanage Mountain then. 4 orphanages is here and another lots in PPP and also a few in Utopia. It's ridiculous that we need this many, but that's because the living conditions is not that great and it's quite polluted in places. We have children without appropriate upbringing. Here, 21 of them. Not great. Know what to do about it. If we look here, we have like 240 people. Should we bring more cable cars maybe, or something? We still have 3 workers going back down, but sure we'll buy more. There we go. And no one is waiting around here. Very good. They are using this. Yes. Still, any people that can't get 13 citizens were unable to get food. How do you manage to not get to the shop when it is like, how far away is it? Since we have this now. Now you have to walk like you have 19 meters from your door, outside door to the entrance of the shop. 19 meters, and you can't manage. I'm sorry, I can't help you if that's the case. Maybe the distribution office can't quite keep up. That could be the case. This place is also out of food. Build another goddamn distribution office then. Sure, not. Because I already have quite a few. Yeah, but we'll have another one. Where? Here? We'll bring helicopters too. Because it is this one that is supposed to take care of the shops now, and they have quite a ways to drive, and not enough trucks they have. Yeah, we'll do good with this one, I think. See how quickly we can get one of these up. This distribution office that delivers fuel cannot handle more tasks though, so they will have to use the regular petrol station to fuel up these vehicles. No less than 2 excavators they brought, and 39 tons of concrete, 6 tons of gravel. Even more gravel is arriving. And workers are coming too. This should be done in no time at all. Here. $150 workers on the construction site. Okay, yeah, and the groundworks is done. We just need bricks, boards, steel, which you have right there. Come on then, come on then. I think that these are doing it. But all the workers have left now. Yeah, the workers may have left, but yeah, without workers we're not going to make a whole lot of progress now, are we? One worker, no mechanisms. Could you bring a crane and a few workers? Our 2 cranes. Four cranes, okay. And there a load of workers arrived, and now it should be quite quick work, this. And it is 50%. 170 workers and 4 cranes. This is going great. You're still 800 kilograms short on bricks though, and there you ran out. But there you're finished. Fantastic. We buy you a few cover hulls. You actually don't need very large ones, but the Brazilian Scanias, yeah, Brazil, right, sure, definitely. No, we'll have these. There, and a few refrigerators too. Actually don't need that. Nah, never mind. You take stuff out of here, right? That's where we keep food and electronics and things, isn't it? No. And this is where we keep the other stuff. Yes. You pick up stuff there and there. You load food and stuff, right? And you bring that to this place, and to this place, and to this place. There you go. Also be good. Why does this have a boat sound? This truck. I don't know. It is what it is. You seem busy. Maybe we should buy even more trucks for you. Would be cool to have a different road up to this place. I mean, how feasible is that? Is that feasible at all? Think so. I don't want to hold the mouse button to flatten the terrain, because that's just going to make it worse. But now we're getting to quite a steep bit. That's going to be very problematic, to say the very least. Here. Yes, I think that we're making it. Will this road ever be finished? I don't know. Okay, that's not going to work. Need to. Oh, it's. Yeah, lovely. Point of this road then is for the distribution offices up here to not have to drive quite so far. Must have been expensive, all this. I see lights flickering, no good. Oh, this is no good, but we can fix that since we have another transformer now. Put down one of these electrical substations, smack dab in the middle of everything, like so, and then we take yet another power line. Other infrastructure is in the way. could have taken a different route up here, but this is going to work. How much gravel do we have? 1,700 tons. Is that enough? 800 tons in there. Maybe we should send you away. Or wait until you're... wait until you're empty. This takes quite a bit of gravel, I'd imagine. 7 tons, 70 tons. It will be fine. You're confused? Yeah, how did you get here? Probably before I upgraded this road to paved. Started paving it. Maybe. Right, what are we up to now? 2.5 hours and a bit more. Let's make this road first. Finish this road up here. And what else? They're going to need technical services too, maybe, to handle it. But they have this. They ought to be able to take care of it. So many children without appropriate upbringing. I don't know what to do. It doesn't matter how many orphanages I build. It's the same. Always the same. Now the heating plant has stopped production on the 19th of June with 28 degrees, so 31 degrees outdoor temperature. Very strange. I think it would do such a thing. Yes. It's not very quick to do with helicopters, this. Seems to me. But only this bit is still 4,000 workdays and 1,000 tons of concrete remaining. That's only that segment. How much is this? 1,100 tons of concrete. I don't think that the gravel on the boat is going to be enough to cover us here. No. Going to have to send that out. But not until it's empty. This distribution office, since that is handling gravel, we should get it back its dumper. And we now have another distribution office that takes care of the food. Dumper total capacity. We'll have a Scania. Again from Brazil, but whatever. As far as I know, Scanias are made in Södertälje. Yes. But what else do I know? And various other places too. Around here. Yeah. Södertälje is not in Brazil. Have you finished one You've not even finished this bit. First bit is finished. Okay, yeah. None of the bridges are finished. Bum 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 bum. And then it still remains to be seen if they actually use this route or not. They ought to. This one that supplies all of this. They really ought to, but you never know. Might be completely in vain. All of this. We'll see. Yeah, but you have 2 hours 40 minutes now. Yeah, I'm going to end it soon enough. Oh, that bit is finished. Fantastic. We need like 3,000 tons of concrete here to fly that in on a helicopter. Nah, I don't think so. But when this road is finished, we can start building it from this end to via the regular construction offices around here. Right. Or is it not realistic to wait for this, maybe? It's going to take forever. You could get a roller to help with this. Oh, the electricity is flickering up here. That's no good. Fine, we'll do yet another one of the new transformer then. Right, yes we will. Is this what we have for cement mixers? Or concrete mixers? We need a bit more capacity. Yes, we do. And we only have 2 of them. Oh, we had a bit more than 2, but I'm going to replace them with larger things. Concrete mixer, please. There we go. We have plenty of cement. That's good. Yes, I'm keeping my word here. I'm not letting go of this one, apparently. We're doing this until I don't know what, until I fall asleep here or something. Or I get too upset with the music machine. No workers or mechanism. Could you please get some workers here? Can't be standing around because no worker or mechanism. Here comes the bus. This is pretty good. We have 100 workers and crane on site, and stuff's actually happening. Now we just need to put down some asphalt and so on, and then we can get on with the next segment. And then we can get on with the next segment and the next segment and the next segment, and before you know it, we'll have this finished. Could set all the helicopter construction officers on everything here, because they can help with the groundworks until they have done these bits, so we can fill up with concrete from local. Right, that's what I'm thinking anyway. Yeah, this is working as intended, because the helicopters are bringing in the gravel for the groundworks where they put the pillars, I suppose. And maybe they can fly in a digger too to do some work until, meanwhile, they are pouring the concrete here and so on. I see this segment is coming along. One helicopter load of concrete that they use up in like no time at all. So many power lines. So very many power lines. Our harvest is coming along too. Oh, it's looking good. Oh. But so far we've done that segment and that segment of this bridge. Viaduct, climbing bridge, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, but this one is about to be finished too. Yeah, I give it half an hour or so and I think that will be done. Yeah, sure. I'm starting to get a bit fed up here for 3 hours now. Yes, I mean, yes, this is the final touch then to the People's Petroleum Prefecture. Proletarian, polluted, irradiated. It's not irradiated. No, but it's polluted. How polluted is it? It is 20% polluted. Average lifespan is 70. 40 people can't visit a doctor. 29% alcohol addiction. 99% satiation. 93% sport enjoyment. 22% pollution. Now, 20. It seems to fluctuate quite a bit. 87% have a radio. 73% have a television. Has a television. No one is in the slightest interested in religion. Clothing quality 90%. Decent enough. Prisoners 441. Okay. No uneducated workers. Workers with lower education 35%. 65% with a degree. The demographics, 35% of the population are babies, 0 to 6 years, and another 38% is children. No, that's not of the total population. 40% of the total population are children. Yes, 39, and 60% are workers. We don't have pensioners. But I mean, you have these. Why are you not sending them? Because we need concrete. Like there is no tomorrow. Oh, you're taking the long way around, are you? Prison buses, prison buses, prison buses, and no prisoner in the mine working. No, not a single one, most likely. No, but at least they get to sit on the prison bus instead of just sitting in prison. If that's good for them for any reason, I don't know. Oh, segment is finished. I think this is going to take too long. I'm seriously considering giving up here, unless we can find something more interesting to look at. Whilst we wait for that, what can we do? We do have trains. Yeah, but they don't do a whole lot. They just go back and forth here. Yes, but the train is always enjoyable in the Soviet Republic. Utopia workers filled up, 375 workers. Very nice. What? Why are you stopping? Because he's refueling and you can't quite figure out that it won't be a problem, and then someone comes there and they have to wait for him to. Right, there you go. You know, we could go and have a look out here at the fields. Now I can click the minimap again. Okay. Right, that's great. And then we turn on the overlay here with the crops. There we go. Nice. See how they move in and onto ships. I mean, you can just stand still. You don't have to be going back and forwards all the time and burning fuel. You can just wait. That would be fine too. That would work quite nicely. In fact, see, how many crops do we have now in the storage facility here? I'd imagine 43,000 tons. I'd imagine that this is the first ship of this year's harvest that is making it. This one. Okay, now we have tap water here, carbonated tap water. That's really the best so far. Oh, pardon me. Look at all them crops moving around. That is quite a nice sight to see here in autumn. People's Petroleum Prefecture. Proletarian Petroleum Prefecture with crops and coal and iron and other stuff too, steel, mechanical components, electrical components and clothing, food and beer and other stuff too, such as nuclear fuel. I'm going slightly insane, maybe I should get off this now before I make an even greater fool of myself. Dum 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 dum. If that is at all possible at this point, I really doubt that. Yeah, but look at all them crops. That's nice. How's my bridge coming? Slowly. This is great because they have finished the groundworks for these segments. They're missing concrete. Wouldn't you know it? Who could have guessed it? Yeah, I suppose I could get rid of get rid of a few things. Because concrete really is the thing that we need right now. You're keeping this in gravel. Oh, speaking of gravel, the ship is not empty yet. No, but it's only 692 tons left. And 870 tons in the buffer here. I don't think that's enough to keep it until the ship comes back. It takes time to sail, but most of all it takes time to load at the foreign harbor. Yes, and you're more than welcome to bring a few workers too. That would be great. Go look at the crops again, maybe. Whilst we're waiting for this. But that's, yeah, we agree that when that's finished, that's when we end the People's Proletarian Petroleum Prefecture. We agree. Yes, we agree. I decree that we agree. I decree that that's when it's done. Anyway. Yes, can we do a bit of flying, maybe? We can try. But it might mess with things when you're running at high speed. I don't know. I don't think that it wants to run at high speed when you're doing this. No, it doesn't. It runs at regular speed. Out here we still have crops in the field. We still haven't harvested everything, but it's September. We have plenty of time. Question is if we have enough room in silos and everything, and enough transport capacity. I don't know. Oh, this is road number 1337, the Let Road. That's fitting. one workday done. And now this then. All 8 vehicles, all F10s is what we want to see. Many of them, as many as possible, please. And I have a lot more than 2 cement mixers. Why aren't you sending all of them? Is it because the helicopters are messing up with it, maybe? If we unassign helicopters from this, then? The idea with the helicopters was to make them do the groundworks, and they have done the groundworks. Oh no, it went so quiet now without the helicopters too. Did that... not really. But they're paving here, so they can't pour concrete here. And here they have... They need 460 tons of concrete to do this. That's a different phase. After pouring concrete, they still need 460 tons of concrete to do something. Not quite sure what, but we'll see soon enough. We'll see now. It's still pouring concrete. Another phase of pouring concrete. Maybe. That's more like it. That's a lot more like it. We go and have a look at the concrete plant. We should see a line of these. Very nice. Very, very nice. We also do an overlay maybe with concrete. Yes. Yeah. There's probably a limit on how many vehicles is sent at one time to a given construction site, and it prioritized the helicopters rather than these. The helicopters can bring the large ones, I think 11 tons, the small ones 4 tons or something. These bring 30. Oh. If we could just send a bus too, so we could get some workers involved, that would be fantastic. So we could actually get something done. Ah, here comes buses. Very good. We're not far off now. 3 hours, 20 minutes. Okay. Yeah. We're making progress. I don't know what to say here. People's Proletarian Petroleum Prefecture, 100 episodes. Started in 1960, now it is 2013, 16th of October. Wouldn't you know it? Yeah. It's been absolutely self-built. I misclicked once or twice, 3 times I think, but stopped construction before it was done. I even think I tore down something that was mistakenly auto-built. Yeah, quite stringent with that. I did excavate a little bit of river when a silly ship had gotten lost. I did do that with foreign manpower. Yes, I admit to that. That's not quite my fault, that's the game's fault, because it sent the ship to a strange place. So I had to dredge out a bit for it to be able to get out. It's reasonable to call in the foreign experts, I think, to get that done. That's what you have to do. Otherwise we'll get problems with the supply chain and so on. Yeah, we don't want that. And here comes concrete from this end. Very good. I've played the soundtrack now I don't know how many times back and forth, but we shall continue. You're missing asphalt. I sold all the dumpers, didn't I? Not all of them, but maybe one or two too many. Yeah, but they're coming. 24 tons. Another 24 tons. I'm not quite sure where I got the idea to build this. This is pointless. It is for this distribution office for the prisons and the orphanages to have a shorter route down to there, rather than have to go this way and go through town and everything. But will it really be shorter? Not that much, maybe. That's nice. I would be maybe finished just in time for winter. We don't have enough technical services out here. Well, do something about that then. And this will bring the helicopters to do. I'm not bringing electricity to this technical services, which means I can't bring fuel to it, but I'll refuel at petrol station. This is about to be done here. Just roll the asphalt to do. And with 90 workers on site, it's going to be quick. No roller though. When this is done, you shouldn't have to shouldn't be necessary for you to take the long way around. Why do you not have a full load? Because you're done with this phase of pouring concrete, and then you want to do the next phase. Yeah, and there you're done with that bit. Great, you can start from the other end now. You don't have to go the long way. anymore. This is about to be finished. Only 500 tons of concrete remaining and 1700 workdays. About to be finished. Yes, any day now. 3 weeks until we get snow. See here now, if they take a left to right, they should take a left. Yes, they do. So when this is done, I'll catch the first vehicle out of the distribution office and hope that it takes this route. I will ride it down to wherever it's going and back up again, and then that's it. That's the People's Proletarian Petroleum Prefecture done. It will be 4 hours or something before we're done here. But this is not bad. This is going along. Oh yes. Oh, this is also coming along. Ta-dum, ta-da-dum, ta-dum, dum, 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 ta-dum, ta-da-dum, ta-dum, dum, dum, ta-dum, ta-da-dum, dum, 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 ba-dum, bum, ba-bum, bum, bum. That might actually be the last concrete truck that is coming right here. Since it isn't filled up, it's 14 tons. Yes, that is the last one of them. Now we just need 73 tons of asphalt and 655 workdays. And the technical services is that's about to be done. They could just keep a few workers around. I have all the resources now and 2 cranes. So a few people, please. If you wouldn't mind. Thank you so very much. It goes to snow in 10 days. Yes, but 10 days. I think it will be I might get to use this before the snow falls then, maybe. Technical services is now done. We buy Scania snowplow, sure. Plowing speed 59 kilometers per hour, sure. This one does 33, 50. Yeah. Okay, would you please now finish? Asphalt. 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 It's coming. Ba-da-bum, ba-da-bum, ba-da-bum. Ba-da-bum, 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 bum, bum. Dum ba-da-bum, bum, bum, ba-dum, bum, bum, ba-da-bum, bum, bum. Da, 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 da. This is about to be done. Ba-da-bum, ba-dum, ba-dum, bum, bum, ba-da-bum, bum. But there are no workers here, and we don't have a roller. So when they're done laying the asphalt, it's going to come to... There we have workers. Okay, good. Very good. Yeah, and the snow will fall before we can actually have the maiden voyage here. 3 days time until snow falls. And that's all the resources. Now there is only 180 workdays remaining, and then that would be that. You see? Yes. I just need to find a vehicle who wants to use this. Because I would be rather upset if they would choose not to use this way, this route. One of these ought to do it. Yeah, you are now finished. One, there you go. You just need to wait for something to get out of here. We could throw. I don't like throwing food away. We can throw a bit of clothing away. There you go. There you have something. You are the first one. A bit forced maybe to get it rolling, but that's what we get. That's how we made it. You already have clothing on board though, so you might not actually go down to load. I wouldn't think. Now you go directly. What should you do? Come on then, how long will we have to wait for this now? Fine. There we go. On the snowy road. Hello, snowplows. What are you up to? Not what you're supposed to be doing, because it's 21 kilometers per hour. Now, I want you to take a left down here. I'm going to be very disappointed if you take a right. You took a left. Very good. I don't know why you're moving so incredibly slowly, but you are for some reason. Hit it. 67 kilometers per hour. It's snow cleared. What's your problem? Something has come up here. Meat for orphans. Very good. Are you stuck behind the snowplow? Oh, you did an overtake. Very nice. Oh, it's quite an exciting drive down here. I would think, as if it's slippery and so on in winter time too. Yes. I mean, this is it from the Petroleum People's Prefecture then. Yeah, I've said this now many times. Thank you for sticking with me, if you did. Otherwise, you're not hearing this anyway, so it doesn't matter. So I might as well say it. Thank you for sticking with me. And I don't know what's next, if anything. I'm quite happy with how the People's Petroleum Prefecture came out this time. This is now the third time I play this map. Yeah. Okay. Yes, there is nothing more to say. No. Thank you so very much for watching. Indeed. I have to go and empty my bladder now because it's been a bit strained for a while. Could say. Oh, this is going to be slow here. I would like to see you go up the bridge too, you know. Come on. Could maybe even do a first person up the thing. Yes, I thank you so very much for watching the People's Proletarian Petroleum Prefecture. This has been the People's Proletarian Petroleum Prefecture in the Soviet Republic of the Workers and the Resources. Cheers and good night.